That in addition to these local attacks originating from the South Florida community, most specifically the one perpetrated by this 16-year-old student, there are other attacks from foreign nations.
Big break in the case. A local teen arrested for the cyber attack that disrupted the first week of distance learning for Miami-Dade Public Schools.
And tonight we have team coverage beginning with NBC6's Odzer. He's live in Alapata with the latest. Ari.
Well, Juwan, the district said that this week they've been hit with 24 cyber attacks. That's a stunning development. But perhaps today was even more stunning to find out that Miami-Dade Schools police have arrested a 16-year-old boy, a student at South Miami High School, and charged him with 8 of those cyber attacks. It's been a disaster since Monday. Students at all levels in Miami-Dade Public Schools have been stymied trying to get into the district's new My School Online distance learning platform. Now they can direct their anger at a fellow student.
These attacks are sophisticated, they are relentless, and they have a deep impact. But the acquisition of the resources to launch them isn't that difficult.
Miami-Dade Schools police arrested a 16-year-old who goes to South Miami High School. He allegedly pulled off what's known as a distributed denial of service attack over a 3-day period, Monday through Wednesday.
There are other attacks from foreign nations, such as Russia, Ukraine, China, Iraq, and possibly others.
The cyber attacks blocked access to the K-12 system for students and teachers and generally gummed up the works.
More than likely, there are others. There are 8 different attacks that this individual is at least responsible for. There were many other attacks that don't have a responsible entity at this point attached to them. Secondly, I expect, as we had today, a continuous improvement of the experience for the students going into tomorrow. The system today was much more stable.
But certainly not glitch-free. I spoke to teachers and parents who once again could not access the platform or had to resort to Zoom or Microsoft Teams today. One elementary school teacher who has a young child told me via text message this morning, "It's a disaster. My daughter cannot even log into her portal." Remember, the district first identified and fixed a software problem before, Carvalho says, they discovered the cyber attacks.
We are in a process right now, obviously, of trying to understand better the percentage of culpability or responsibility attributable to the new platform with its inherent first-day glitches and difficulties versus the interference caused by these DDoS attacks.
And Carvalho said the last attack was at 3 o'clock this morning, and none of these attacks, he said, penetrated the district's firewall and got actually into the data center. And both Carvalho and the school's police chief are emphasizing this point. Parents, make sure you know what your kids are doing online. Talk to them about this case and make sure you monitor their online activities. We're live at the school's police headquarters. Ari Odzer, NBC6 News.
And Ari, the school system says that the 16-year-old arrested today is not the only person trying to jam the online learning system. But if he or others think that this is a harmless prank, they're about to learn another lesson. Our team coverage continues with NBC6 reporter Tony Pipitone. Tony.
Yeah, this South Miami High School junior was arrested at 2:43 this morning in this Flagami neighborhood, charged with a felony that can mean up to 5 years in prison. For now, he's charged as a juvenile, and that's why we will not be identifying him. But the computer crime he's charged with is no juvie prank. Hard to imagine a 13-year-old boy excited to be back in math class, but Angel Roque is.
So you glad to be online?
Yeah.
And so was his mom.
Very happy.
After days of frustration.
Today is perfect. My kid is online and, do the work.
What they didn't know is some of that disruption was, police say, launched a few doors away by a 16-year-old neighbor.
Those individuals that are wishing to cause harm do not cause it during a dry run or during the preseason. Monday was the Super Bowl, so they purposely waited to that time to conduct their cyber attack.
The distributed denial of service, or DDoS attack, was not that sophisticated, a school cybersecurity expert told us.
But certainly it doesn't suggest that he's a particularly sophisticated cyber attacker.
But it helped keep Angel and another 200,000 or so students from getting back into the classroom, if even virtually.
These sorts of tools are actually very prevalent, and they can be very effective. The difference between paying for a service and using one for free is likely the ability to obscure your IP address.
And he did not obscure his IP address, according to authorities, which is what led them to his device here in this neighborhood and his arrest this morning. Now, the state attorney has not yet decided whether to move him to adult court. If you're wondering why he's not charged in federal court, because what he did allegedly is also a federal crime, that's because U.S. attorneys cannot charge juveniles with crimes, except in certain exceptions that a federal prosecutor, former federal prosecutor told me today, does not apply to this case. Still, he and anyone else thinking they can do this should know state felonies are no joke. Reporting in Flagami, Tony Pipitone, NBC6 News.